Hello and welcome to Janette's TV. I'm your host, Janette Burke, and today I'm bringing a special segment just for women with my guest, Shelley Gawith, who started out as an investment banker and then became a functional nutritionist. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritties of her backstory because I'm going to let her tell that to you. But I do want to set up this segment, and I do want to discuss the very important facts of how women are living and surviving amongst COVID, where I know there's a vaccine out and some of us think there's an end in sight, which I'm sure there is, but there is still a little more COVID to go. And for some countries, it's starting up again with variants, and not all of us have been vaccinated and not all the borders are open. But more importantly, North American women are reporting that only 7%, which means 93% of us are saying we're just doing okay. And that's because we have so much more on our plate. We're educating our children, we're homemakers, we're supporting our spouses emotionally, mentally, and in some cases financially, juggling all these balls. What about us? What are we doing to take care of us and to avoid burnout? Because I think most of us, or at least a lot of us, are already there. And we have to remember to put ourselves and our health first, because if we're not good, nothing else and no one else around us in our realm of responsibility is going to be good. So, join me for this very special segment where we're going to hash out these issues as I welcome to Janette's TV, Shelley Gawith, all the way from New Zealand. She is a functional nutritionist. Welcome, Shelley.
Thank you, Janette.
You're very welcome. Now, Shelley, I would love for you to share with my audience a bit about your backstory and how you got to be a functional nutritionist from, an investment banker. That's quite a big change, a big shift. So please tell us a little bit about what happened that led you on this path.
At 26 years old, I was living and working in Australia for an investment bank. I survived on coffee. I would have multiple coffees per day. To be honest, I thought that I didn't have the best energy compared to some of the other people my age, but I just had more coffee and more sugary treats to get me through. I wanted to climb the corporate ladder, and I didn't think there was such a thing as burnout or exhaustion. I thought I was too young, and that just happened to older people. So I was always competing in this male dominated world, trying to work longer hours, trying to get in with the males in my world. So that meant doing a lot of exercise or running marathons with them. So I was really pushing my body through lack of sleep, through working long hours, and then through overtraining with exercise. My fatigue eventually got so bad that I struggled to get out of bed in the mornings. So I went to my doctor and I got diagnosed with a thyroid condition. My doctor gave me medication, which was basically just a band-aid solution for the problem. I took it and just continued working. I continued having more coffee, eating more sugary treats, and just pushing my body harder and harder. I didn't take any time for myself and look after myself because I didn't think I needed to. I thought age was on my side. I eventually caught influenza. I moved to another investment bank to a bigger promotion, and that's when my health deteriorated. At that point, my doctor told me that I needed to be hospitalized and I was going to die if I didn't do something. And so the medical world didn't know what to do for me. So my parents came over from New Zealand and collected me. And my mum spent the next 2 years looking after me full time. She gave up her job. So now she was suffering from stress and burnout because she was looking after me. After working with specialists and medical professionals from around the world and still being in bed and not being able to live my life as a 28, 29-year-old, I realized that I needed to take control of my own recovery. So after trying to do everything that the medical world threw at this, I realized there must be something to diet. We hadn't tried diet and nutrition. So at that point, my mum implemented all sorts of different dietary things. We just started off with simple bone broth that tasted at the time to me absolutely disgusting, and fermented foods that I just thought was smelly, soggy cabbage.
Hmm.
But with those two changes, I could now stay awake for 2 hours. I could now read a paragraph of a book, which was huge. So from there, I realized there was something to the power of nutrition and this whole functional medical world. And I needed to study it and I needed to get myself better. So that's what got me on this journey. And this is when I realized that burnout is a thing and it's happening. And I'm seeing it in this, like you touched on, Janette, in this COVID world, more and more to women as they put others first and don't look after themselves.
Okay, so that's a thank you for sharing the story, and I guess you've developed a taste for bone broth now, and I think that this is a very important issue, and there's also the emotional side of it, and I know from you sharing your story with me that you actually also went through a breakup because it wasn't just the physical decline, it was the emotional decline. So you actually had an engagement that you had to break up. That's correct, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that when your nutrition is off, it's more than just the physical part of your body that's off. There's the mental emotional side too. Now, so you decided to become a functional nutritionist, completely leave the banking world behind. You started to function in a way where you're more in a feminine business model, really paying heed to your own needs and what have you, and taking that time off, doing all the things you did not do when you were an investment banker working in the male success model. And so I wanted you to share with us just a little bit about, what did you do to take over control of your own health and your own destiny, and just some of the changes that you made to your routine and your lifestyle in general, and what you would recommend for other women who are in this place where you used to be. What sort of little baby steps should they be taking as well?
One of the easiest baby steps is sleep. And I know as women, we don't want to prioritize it because we feel like there's always something else to do on our to-do list and there's always something extra or something more to be done. But
Mhm.
set a bedtime and stick to it. In my investment banking days, there was no boundaries around my sleep. I was willing to forego it for anything. But now my number one priority is always sleep. It doesn't matter what's happening, where in the world I'm speaking or traveling. Sleep and my bedtime is a number one priority because that is key to our hormonal health as women, to our detoxification pathways as women. It's essential to how we wake up and view the lenses of view the world, because we view it through the lenses of our hormones. So our whole adrenal health, which is our energy and feeling good, is connected to sleeping. Weight loss is connected to sleeping. So that was number one. The other thing is women often have very busy brains. So doing some sort of brain dump or journaling exercise is really useful. Just getting all that information out of our heads.
Mm.
Prioritizing, and I know this is so hard for women, especially when we've got families, but prioritizing our health. So that can be stacking health benefits. So simple things like I get clients to put their legs up the wall every single night for 10 minutes. Some will do it with their children, some will do it by themselves or with their partners, but it resets your whole stress system in your body. So it's really important doing these types of things. And the other thing, a couple of other simple things, is breathing. So I can be an impatient person at times, but now whenever I'm in the car and I see a red light, it's my breathing break. So I'm not doing anything extra. My life is not more busy for implementing these things, but I do get a break. And the other thing that I do is disconnect from my devices. So I have a non-negotiable time where I will not look at technology anymore, and I set boundaries. So sometimes for me, I have to go away to places where there's no internet so that I have a total break from it. But we have to set boundaries to be the best versions of ourselves and be the women that we want to be and turn up in the world as our wives, mothers, partners, business people, health practitioners, whatever we are, just for ourselves and for others.
Hmm. So you hit on boundaries, and so I know also from speaking with you that you make vacation time a priority. You take weekends, you take days off, you fit in exercise, and you also make sure that you eat a healthy diet. And we'll get to that in a minute because I know one of the things you talk about is power food. So we'll save the dieting for that. I did want to bring out a couple of other points, which is what is the difference between a functional nutritionist and a nutritionist? Because I don't think a lot of people would know that.
I agree, Janette, and you're 100% correct. There's a huge difference. So, our bodies are built with several physiological systems in place: our nervous system, our cardiovascular system, our muscles, magnetic pathways, all sorts of different systems in our bodies. So, a nutritionist is just looking at diet and the food going into your body. But I am looking at all of these different symptoms and seeing why they're out of alignment and what we need to do through diet, through supplements, through nutrition, through emotional, energetic, physiological, different ways of bringing your body back into balance. So we use these markers, including like fatigue, sleepiness, all of these types of things to work out what is out of balance in your body and restore it. So we're doing that with more tools than just diet.
Okay, great.
Basically,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Functional nutritionist basically listens to those signals in the body and then realigns the body for you and brings it into optimal health.
Okay, so that's really a great distinction. And I wanted to sort of like segue into the whole aspect of your clinic. And I wanted to start by saying that although the clinic is in New Zealand, you're an international practice and you work with clients all over the world. You also have certification, nutritional certification in North America. So you can work with people from North America and Canada and what have you. And you do a lot of things online. So there's no need to fly to Australia if you or New Zealand. I'm not even sure if they'll let us in right now, but there's no need for that. So if you're thinking that, no, and we're going to get to in a moment more to the actual services you provide. But before we do, I wanted to start by saying that you actually start and like working with the process of a client begins with a very heavy duty client intake that's actually right on your homepage. So there's like a form. And my question is, what when you intake this information, obviously it helps you to ascertain what your clients are going to need. But what have you discovered? What have they discovered themselves about their own health that they may not have discovered had they not taken that assessment? Like, what are like the red flags or the pop-ups, like, for them that they do this assessment and they get these results back, and what are some of the most shocking things that come out of it for them as well as for you?
The feedback from every single person that has completed that online form, whether they come and see us in clinic or internationally, is a lot of people, if you experience a symptom, that's become your new normal. And people aren't asking, we don't question those symptoms because they're just same old to us. So
Mm-hmm.
when I've asked the question in the intake form, every single person will say to me, is that not normal? I just thought that's normal because I probably had it for a long time and it's become my new normal. So it gets people, for starters, thinking about their symptoms, questioning symptoms and going, oh, there must be something different. There must be a way that something that I can do to get rid of this symptom. So it's incredibly empowering for the individual. Straight away, you suddenly know that those symptoms aren't normal and you don't have to live with them. The other thing from my approach is it gets people straight away. When you fill in a food journal, which I ask you to do, you become aware of what you're eating. You become aware of how that's impacting your mood, how that's impacting your energy, what that is doing for your poo health every single day. So already changes are starting to happen and it's empowering you so you feel like you can take control of your own health.
Okay, well that's amazing. And I wanted to now get into the actual services you provide at the clinic. And there's like three core services. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how they interrelate?
So the first core service is either online appointments with me or one-on-one appointments in the clinic, so physically in our location. So most people come for an appointment with me straight after doing the initial online intake form because they've realized that something's out of balance or they've been referred by a friend or a family member from around the world. So we start working with you straight away, trying to get to the root causes of your health challenges and restoring function to your body straight away. The next service that I've now developed and opened up because I've just realized the real need for it is the detoxification side of things. So we have 3 services in clinic, which is the AMD Ion Foot Cleanse, the near infrared sauna, and the AMP coil, which is PEMF therapy, which is pulse electric magnetic field therapy. And this just works on a cellular level. But for my international clients, we also do different detoxification programs that they can start doing from their own homes. And we teach you how to detoxify your body as well. And then the third service, which you touched on earlier, Janette, is the online Power Foods course, which is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the online Power Foods course. It is a course. You can take it from anywhere in the world. What are the power foods that you identify? And when do you know when not to incorporate a certain type of power food into somebody's suggested diet?
So we've all heard of superfoods, right? But superfoods aren't super if they're impacting your body in a negative way. So if one diet suited absolutely everybody, we just need to look outside and we'd be all in perfect health. But that is not what we're seeing around the world and with statistics with all our health conditions at the moment. So something about superfoods isn't working. So I came up with Power Foods, which is individualized for each individual client. And every single food is powerful for the person when they feel energized, when their brain is working well, when they're not needing to snack between their meals, when they're losing weight, and when they're not getting any symptoms in their body. So in this course, I teach you tests that you can do at home. And I also work with you going through this as well, so that we can come up with your individualized meal plan for your body so that you have the best energy, the best hormonal health, you love your life. Because at the end of the day, that's why we do this, so we can all live our best lives and love our lives.
Okay, so just getting back to one of the services you provide, which is the detox, right? There's been a bit of controversy around detox cleansing. There's the pluses and the minuses. If you could share a little bit about both and why, what you recommend about it or why you suggest it.
So I guess some of the major minuses around detox is pregnant women. Obviously, we don't want pregnant women or women that are breastfeeding to be detoxing. Also, if you've got chronic health conditions, depending what those are, sometimes it can be beneficial, but you always want to check with a medical professional first. Detox can get a bad reputation because often it's about calorie counting or limiting your calories. So a lot of people are doing it just for weight loss, and that's not what our approach is in the clinic at all. It's about taking the toxic load off your body and giving your body a break so your liver and your gallbladder can eliminate the buildup of toxins toxins. Like, we are now seeing statistics for when a newborn baby is born and you do their blood sample within 24 hours, they have got 287 different toxins in their blood. So we are now got a new generation being born with toxicity in their blood. So as we grow up as adults, we're seeing more and more toxicity through the lives that we live and what we're consuming on our bodies and in through our mouths. So if we can use detoxification techniques, whether it's through diets, whether it's through giving your liver a break, or in clinic here through different liver resources to help take the load off your body, it's going to improve your kidney and liver function. It's going to improve your mental health. It's going to give you better brain clarity, better energy. It resets your mind and spirit, cuts out bad eating habits. It improves your immune system, and it's a jumpstart to weight loss because it really balances your hormonal health. You do want to make sure, though, that you're pooing every single day before you implement a detox strategy.
Okay. So we've heard some of the pluses and minuses. Now I wanted to get into a couple of other things. You really have a quite a huge goal in life, and that is, in essence, you want to revolutionize you wanted to revolutionize New Zealand's healthcare system, but you also want to have a global impact on women's health. And you really want to make some serious changes to what you're seeing. So what is that dream for you? What does it look like? What is your real intention here?
Well, I see so many women coming into clinic that have been told that their symptoms are normal, that they've just got to put up with these symptoms. Just like me, when I was working in the investment bank, I thought my symptoms were normal and it was me and I was the problem. And that when medicine just gave me a drug, I accepted it and I took it. And I'm seeing, when I look at blood work, that the medical world is telling these women that have symptoms that their blood is fine, their blood works fine, and they've just got to carry on. They've just got to push harder. They've got to do more. But that is not the truth. The truth is that you might be in the medical ranges, but if you're not in optimal ranges with your blood work, there is so much we can do to be proactive with your health. Because if you get diagnosed with a chronic condition, it's really hard to reverse it. But if you pick it up early on, you can change it. So my goal and my vision is for women globally, but especially in New Zealand, to, rather than look at chronic disease and then start to help somebody when they're in the disease model, to pick it up early and make those simple changes to change the health, to educate and empower women so they change their family's health, so they change their workplaces, and they start to say, no, I'm not going to accept that I'm just in these lab ranges when I've got symptoms. Am I in optimal ranges?
Okay, so that's very empowering. Now, I also want to make mention of a couple of other things. Tell us a little bit about the role of supplements, because they really do play an important role as well in maintaining health. And you're very big on supplements. So can you articulate a little bit about, or explain why supplements and why they need to be added to your diet? Why, consuming food is not enough?
Absolutely. So let's take iron, for example. If that shows up low on your blood work, you're not in optimal ranges. To go from down here to up here with food is too hard. We can't do that quickly and in a timely manner. And iron is key for good energy. What are most women seeing that they're suffering from? Low energy right about now. So I'm very much like, you get safely, because you've got your blood work, so we know that you need it and your body is going to use it. We use the supplements to go from down here to up here in a fast, timely manner, so you get all the health benefits. So your energy improves, your brain clarity improves, your periods improve. So food can then maintain optimal levels of health, and we do your blood work again to make sure that your food is, but it's too slow just doing it with food. So
Okay.
that's where supplements
So,
are
but what say you to, like, for example, vitamin D, vitamin zinc supplements, vitamin C supplements? They're supposedly very good supplements to take in the prevention of catching COVID. Is that true?
Absolutely, because they're key for your immune system. We've got the science and the research and the studies now to show that one of the biggest things that they've seen with people that have got COVID is low vitamin D levels. We only need to think about that from what we're seeing in culture now is most young people aren't getting outside. If you're not getting outside, you're not getting sunlight, which is the major source of vitamin D. So most of us in the world today are low in vitamin D. And that is, they've done the tests and the studies now to prove that that is one of the key things. Zinc is awesome every year for your immune system. That is a key nutrient for your immune system, for energy levels and stress. And most of us are stressed right about now, depletes you of zinc. So
What
it's
about
key.
probiotics?
Probiotics, they
Yes.
are fantastic for your gut bacteria and your gut health.
Okay.
80% of your immune system's in your gut. So having a probiotic supplement is already increasing your immune system because of the relationship with your gut health.
Okay. I have a few more questions before we round out this interview. One of them has to do with the actual packages you've put together, because I know you have sort of a unique way of running your clinic. We've already alluded to the fact that it's not just a come see me clinic that, is located in New Zealand, but you have like a whole online and reach for international clients. So what do the packages look like, and what are sort of the starting point on the pricing?
Absolutely. So after I've worked with thousands of clients around the world, I decided the feedback from clients was just seeing me for one session wasn't enough. And it felt too overwhelming for everyone to implement these things. And clients wanted additional support, accountability, and they wanted timeframes to work with. So now we have started our basic package as a 6-month package. So that's internationally or in person. Every client signs up for 6 months. So you'll see me for your first appointment. And before that appointment, the starting point is you've filled out the online questionnaire that's on my website, and you've completed a bunch of other forms that I get you to complete, and any blood work you send through to me. Then 3 weeks later, you get your next check-in appointment, and these are all hour-long appointments. For my distance clients, you also get sent in the mail a detoxification box that we are going to work through these different methodologies throughout those 6 months. So the first appointment, we will work out what is happening in your body, what are your symptoms, where this chronic condition started from, and then I map out a plan how we need to look at this physically, spiritually, emotionally, with supplements, nutritionally, and with a diet plan. So then each session, we're getting rid of those symptoms along the way.
And what's the price point?
So the price point for the 6-month package is in American dollars or Canadian dollars. It is $1,500.
Okay. American actually is different than Canadian, but I get the idea. I just want to give people an idea of what they're looking at. And of course, is that's not your only package, or is it? Or is that just your signature package?
That's the signature package. So then we've got more premium packages, so that's the signature package, the entry level package of people coming in and working with me. And then we've got more premium packages, which are more specified and tailored. And so in those ones, we bring in all different types of lab testing as well, and include supplement bundles for you as well.
Okay. So, and then I wanted to now mention the fact that, you're highly informative. You've got this great blog, lots of articles, lots of videos on various aspects of health. One that stuck out for me was actually using castor oil to clean your teeth. I had never heard of that before. I do use castor oil, but not for my teeth. I use it actually on my stomach. I know this sounds very strange. Perhaps you're familiar with it. I did learn it at a naturopath college here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for digestive issues, to put, castor oil on your stomach, rub it on every night. It actually works very well. But you also have use for it for our teeth. So this is just like an example of the type of information that you share. And it's very compelling. And I think that, I wanted to mention that you have this great blog on the website with videos. There's also a YouTube channel where you can see you talk about various health issues. You also interview people on health issues. I know there was one with a specialist on intermittent fasting. That was another one, which is, a hot topic right now. A lot of women are into that. So that's great. And you also speak, because you go to conferences and you speak on health topics. I wanted to mention that as well. And I wanted to also address one other thing, which is just your overall approach. We've sort of talked about it, but I would like to hear a little bit more about your overall approach, because you're doing nutritional counseling. You're also a speaker. You're a blogger, and you're a YouTuber. And did I miss anything? Because I think there's like another component here.
YouTuber, blogger, speaker, social media, and then one-on-one clients. So you've covered it all.
Okay, good. I don't like to miss anything. And I would like to also mention how we can find you and reach you. If you could please share your website and your contact information so that we can share you with the world. We call this your shameless promotion part of Janette's TV and podcast.
Thank you, Janette, for letting me. So my website is www.shelleygawith.com, and I highly recommend you go there because, like Janette said, that's where all the blog articles are. That will lead you to my YouTube channel. You can watch all of these things, and the YouTube channel is bite-sized, everyday things that busy women like me and you can start applying to our lives straight away. So that will take you straight there. Then on social media, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and that's all Shelley Gawith Functional Nutrition. To contact me personally, you can contact its office at shelleygawith.com, and that's also on the website. To sign up for the Power Foods course, you can do that straight away on the website as well. So we've tried to make it, and you can book in straight away on the website as well. We've tried to make it as easy as possible for you because we don't want there to be a barrier to you getting the best health possible as fast as possible.
Okay, great. That sounds amazing. I think, this is a time where us women, we need to step up and do something for ourselves and make sure that we're healthy and strong for our own self and our own interests, but also our families and for generations to come. So I recommend giving Shelley a ring, as we say, or, contacting her in some way and really taking control of your health. I know today we are eating way too much junk food. We are consuming way too much alcohol, way too much sugar, way too much fat. And we're often putting ourselves last, as well as, taking on maybe some domestic abuse that's very high right now, and just not really centering in the power that we need to be centering in. So I want to thank Shelley for coming on and sharing this very important information with us. And I want to thank you for joining us today. This is Janette Burke, your host, signing off. Please remember to like, comment, and share all our posts with all the fabulous women and men in your lives. You will find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Vimeo, YouTube, you name it, we're there. Hashtag Janette's TV, and also the podcast channels include iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, a heck of a lot of them as well. You'll find me everywhere. Hashtag Janette's TV and podcast. And I would also like to just make mention of the fact that you can support us on Patreon. Just check the description and the links below for how you can do that. No donation is too big or too small as we continue to bring you relevant content throughout COVID. We also have Janette's TV and podcast merchandise. We have t-shirts and we have sweatshirts in your choice of color and size. And you also get to decide whether you would like our logo, which is the Janette's TV and podcast logo with the tagline, or one of our inspirational sayings made by myself or one of my guests in a previous episode. So that's your choice. All items include tax and are shipped directly to you. Very convenient. Again, the description and the links are in, the links are in the description below. And until next time, continue to be fabulous.